In this video, we're going to discuss the general structure of the document templates and what you need to keep in mind when you're considering modifying existing document templates. There will be another video about creating your own document template, so if your questions are not answered in the current video, then they may be answered in that video. For the current video, we will be looking at the Annual Documents template that you can find in the Your Corporate Needs workbook under the tab Doc-Annual. For all document templates, the directory of the created document is always found in cell W6, and the name to be given to the document to be created is always in cell W7. Both the directory and the document name may be functions of the information for the corporation for which documents are being created. In our annual documents example, a separate subdirectory based on the corporation's global ID is created for all the documents for each individual corporation. As well, the name of the document is a combination of the corporation's global ID, the word annual, and the date of the resolutions. In the top left, we have formulated a cell to contain the document name so that a stray printed document can be matched up to a file. It is easier to see the structure of the document if you press the Reset Row Heights for Editing button, which sets each row to the same height. Immediately above the document name, you can see the location of the first and last line and the print area for the document to be printed. For the top section, you can see the date April 30th, 2017, which is the date of the annual documents for 2017 for this corporation, and of the information reflected in the rest of the document. The text produced in the document is a combination of user text in the template, information from the database for that corporation, and text that varies depending upon the information in the database. The information is all calculated as at the corrected date in a sheet called Transaction. For example, the heading at the top is the variable Corp name, which is the name of the corporation on April 30th, 2017. The subheading varies depending upon the number of shareholders on April 30th, 2017. The first resolution varies depending upon whether preparation of financial statements is waived, the short name of the corporation, the calculated financial year end, the number of directors and shareholders, all as at April 30th, 2017. The result is text that's factually accurate for the corporation, grammatically correct, and reads as well as the document drafter intended. The list of directors is calculated, and the document allows for up to 10 directors to be displayed. There are only 3 directors, so the other 7 lines are left blank. The signature blocks are formatted depending upon whether the shareholder is an individual or a corporate entity. The same code is used for each of the signature blocks, but the result looks different depending upon the data. This gives a good view of the building blocks for the text in a document, but the appearance is somewhat unattractive due to the line spacing. Pressing the Adjust Row Heights button changes the appearance to what you would ordinarily expect a finished document in the print area to look like, and this is the result that will be saved to the final PDF document. This effect is the result of adjusting the row heights set out in column AA. You can see that some rows are set to 0 height if there is no relevant information, while others have larger or smaller values depending upon the amount of information that needs to be displayed. For example, row 8 has a longer piece of text, so it needs 54 points to correctly display the results. This is not an exact science, as the actual required space will depend on the cumulative length of words, driven in part by the data in the database, and beyond the control of the document template drafter. You can see in row 8 that the estimated required row height is a function of the number of characters in the text string and an estimated average required row length. Now, how can you modify an existing document? The document templates are fully exposed, meaning that no sections are prohibited from being edited. You can change the straightforward features like font, size, italics, bolding, etc. You can change the actual wording in the text or the logic to create text that depends upon values in the database. Deleting existing lines is easy because you can either set the row height to 0 or replace that line with a new provision. You can insert additional rows, but you need to be careful that the first and last line, print area, and row height corresponds to the new row to be inserted. You can even add graphics to your documents if you want. For example, I'm going to 1. Change the font of the first resolution to Times New Roman 12. 2. Change the subheading from Shareholder to Member. 3. Bold the subheading. And 4. Add a stylized M graphic to the top right corner. We're now going to generate a new set of annual documents and see what they look like. After you have modified a document template, you need to have a good look at the result, particularly to make sure that the first and last line, print area, and row height reflect the changes that you made to the document. For example, if you make the font for a document line larger, then you may have to increase the calculated height of each document line to accommodate both the larger font height and the reduced number of characters per line and the corresponding greater number of lines. In this example, I might want to relook at the average number of characters per line for the first resolution. That would eliminate some extra spacing. One last example that I want to show you is the allotment of shares. We have included the production of a separate subscription for each person subscribing for shares. The up to 10 subscription documents are filled in with correct information for all the allotments that took place on the specified date. The last line is calculated based on the number of allotments on that date, and the print area is then set so that only the required number of subscription agreements are produced when the documents are saved as a PDF document. Now we can generate the allotment documents and see what they actually look like. You can see that there are 2 share subscription documents based on the information in the database that tells us that there were 2 allotments on this date. This video has introduced you to the structure of the document templates and how you can modify the documents to have the look and style that you want them to have. This may take some effort initially, but once you've created the document template that you want, then you can generally use it for all your documents. In odd situations, you may still have to adjust row heights. Thank you for watching this video, and we hope that you enjoy using and modifying your document templates to create documents with your look and style.